Welcome again to First Chapter Friday from the Alameda Free Library. This week I'm going to read the first chapter of Forever This Summer by Leslie C. Youngblood, published by Little Brown and Company. I'm going to dive right in to Chapter 1. Baby. When Mama told me that we were going to Bogalusa, Louisiana for the summer, I should have said, even if dollar bills grew on oak trees there, I'm not leaving Atlanta. Of course, I hadn't had the nerve to say that, but it didn't cost a thing to imagine. Now I'm stuck here, and to be honest, it stinks. Not the people, but the factory that runs 24 hours a day, the paper mill. The funk smells like that time my best friend Nikki left her egg salad sandwich in her locker over a 3-day weekend. P.U. Georgie, did you run that vacuum like I asked you to? Mama yelled from the top of the stairs. I'm expecting company a little later. About to do it now, Mama, I called. My summer had come to this, daily vacuuming instead of creating dance routines with Nikki, but with no homework to worry about. Freedom. Mama was upstairs taking salmon croquettes to my great Aunt Vi, who taught Mama to make them while other kids were making mud pies, Mama told me. Aunt Vi was 76 and the main reason why I didn't pack a bag and start walking all 435 miles back to Atlanta. She founded our family diner, Sweetings, and ran it for nearly 50 years. I even heard that Aunt Vi knew every customer by name, but now she doesn't even recognize her sisters, my great Aunt Essie, Grandma Sugar, Mama, or me these days. Mama said I'd been in this house before, but I don't remember. Even when I squeeze my eyes real tight and concentrate, I can barely recall the time I met Aunt Vi at the family reunion. Aunt Vi didn't want to forget stuff. It was because of the Alzheimer's, which is like a big bully that takes stuff that doesn't belong to them and won't give it back. I went to the hall closet and pulled out the vacuum cleaner. The top shelf was stacked with 3 versions of Scrabble, other board games, and tons of books. I yanked the vacuum out of the closet, and its cord was a tangled mess like a garden hose. While I worked to straighten it, Mama eased downstairs and eyed me like she'd found me lounging by the pool drinking a slushie. Another thing I missed about Atlanta. Well, Snellville, Georgia, actually. Snellville is where Mama, my baby sister Peaches, and I live with my stepdaddy and 15-year-old stepsister Tangie. Frank couldn't get the time off work, and Tangie stayed with him. I tried to get out of coming when I realized she wasn't. No go. Daddy lives in College Park, which is close to downtown Atlanta, with his new wife. Snellville after Splitsville is how Nikki summed it up. Even when I say it now, it sort of makes me smile. Splitsville sounded better than divorce. While I was thinking about what I was missing in Atlanta, Mama surveyed the living room. It had been green velvet with it had a green velvet couch with wooden feet, 2 cream-colored high-back chairs, and all the lamps had shades as fancy as Aunt Vi's hats. I thought I'd asked you to vacuum earlier. You told me to wait, remember? You didn't want to wake Aunt Vi. She walked over to the curtains and parted them. The sun flooded in. Mama poked her finger in the pot of one of the plants. Water this one. The rest should be okay. Yes, Mama. I took a breath to get my nerve up to ask the question that she'd said no to 2 times before. Once I finish, you think I can work at the diner today? Grandma Sugar said there's a girl who works there named Marky Jean, and she wants you to meet her. Grandma said that we're about the same age. Grandma Sugar lived in Atlanta. She arrived in Bogalusa days before we did. For a week or 2 during each summer, she comes and works at the diner. In the past, I've heard Mama and Grandma arguing about Mama not letting Peaches and me tag along. Your grandma mentioned Marky. I met her briefly. She's a bit older than you. What does that matter? Tangie's older too, I said. Neither of them nor Aunt Essie have time to train you. There's lots to do there, and right now you'd be in the way. Not the time, G-baby. But you said, not the time, G-baby. Georgie, Mama. You said you'd call me Georgie from now on. This time her sigh was so deep her hair rippled like one of those inflatable air dancers Daddy had advertising a car sale at one of his dealerships. But she managed, sorry, just a lot on my mind. Everyone is getting used to Aunt Vi never running the diner again. Her health declined quicker than we expected. Mama looked up to the ceiling like it was the sky, then shook her head. The diner is out today. There's just too much I need help with. I don't even get to help with Aunt Vi. You do everything. Mama rarely let me sit with Aunt Vi when she wasn't around. Even when Grandma Sugar said she'd stay at the house and let Mama go to the diner, Mama chose to stay. Everything you do around here is helping. Maybe you can go up to the diner tomorrow. That's what you said yesterday. Today is tomorrow, I said. For you, tomorrow is whenever I say it is, Mama snapped. She was going into Mama mode and I'd never win. Mama wasn't listening to Grandma Sugar or my great-aunt Etsy. She sure as heck wouldn't listen to me. I squeezed the handle of the vacuum like it was one of those stress balls the school counselor gave me when I was adjusting to our parents' divorce. I squeezed the handle so tight my knuckles burned. Truth was that I only needed to make the strokes with the vacuum cleaner. The carpet wasn't dirty. The entire house was spotless. Mama grabbed a bottle of water from the fridge and headed back upstairs. I lugged the vacuum cleaner to the center of the living room and plugged it in. Once it sounded like a herd of cattle were stamping through, I left the vacuum running and slipped into the kitchen to call the one person who might be able to rescue me. I ducked in a connecting hallway between the dining room and the kitchen. The walls were lined with wallpaper. I ran my fingertips along the floral print, and it was tissue soft to the touch. My cell phone felt heavier than usual in my hand while I waited. Hey, baby girl, Daddy said, how are you? Not that great, Daddy. Soon as he asked what was wrong, I said, Mama barely lets me leave the house. I can't even help out with Aunt Vi. Only thing she wants me to do is stay inside and do chores. One of Daddy's sports shows was loud in the background. Someone was going on about LeBron James. Is it really that bad, Georgie? I wanted to thank him for calling me Georgie, but I didn't want to get off track. It is. I can't even walk to the store alone. Mama and I were in the one not too far from here, and 6-year-olds were in there by themselves, Daddy. Peach's age. Mama's overdoing it. Can you please talk to her? There was a sound like a ticking clock, and I knew Daddy was tapping his pen on his desk as he thought. I really don't want to step in without being there. You know your Mama and I have been through a lot to get to. I know, Daddy. A good place. I want to be in a good place too. And this isn't it. Daddy's seconds of decision felt like hours. The upstairs floor creaked. Mama was on the move. Finally he said, I'll see what I can do, baby. No promises, though. Thank you, Daddy, thank you. The closing credits to SportsCenter echoed. Then Daddy started channel surfing, which Mama hated. Frank doesn't even have a TV in his den. He and Mama spend hours together reading the same paper sometimes. Hey, he said. I know. No promises. Long as we're clear. I nodded like he could see me. How is Peaches? Daddy laughed. She and Millie are cooking breakfast. I think I smell the burned bacon now. Peaches didn't travel with us. She was recovering from meningitis, even though the doctor gave her the all clear. Daddy convinced Mama to let Peaches stay with him and Millicent until he traveled to Texas for business. After a few doctor follow-ups and Daddy reminding Mama that Millicent was a nurse, Mama agreed. Daddy might have been teasing about the burned bacon, but I doubt it. The last dish Millicent cooked for us was some sort of tater tot casserole that I was sure made Peaches nauseous until we found out it was more serious than a stomach ache. Tell Peaches I'll talk to her tonight, Daddy. Please call Mama soon, and what? Excuse me. Don't let her know I called you. He was quiet again. I'm not playing you against each other. What do you call it? She's stressing. Maybe it's just taking care of Auntie. I don't know. I don't want things to get worse. Tap, tap, tap. You know what would make things way worse for us all? My shoulders drooped. What? Your Mama and me not being honest? You know how much it took for her to let Peaches stay behind? After all that, you think this is the best way for me to communicate with her? No, I admitted. I loved the way Daddy reasoned with me. I'll call her, but I'm going to tell her that we talked. Not being honest isn't the way to get what you want, Daddy warned. Got it? Yes, sir, I said. Love you. Guilt threatened to suck me into the Hoover. I love you too. After I vacuumed and put it away, not even bothering to wrap the cord properly around the hooks, I watered the plants and was on to do the breakfast dishes by hand, even though there was a dishwasher just sitting there taunting me. Then I thought the doorbell rang, but it was Mama's phone. I could hear it all the way upstairs. Our science teacher told us that there are over 37 trillion cells in our body. Every one of mine was on edge, wondering if it was Daddy. I'm going to stop there. Wow, I can't wait to read the rest. Sounds great. I hope that you enjoy it too. See you next time on First Chapter Friday.